Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the WyoSports video blog. Robert Gagliardi, senior editor of WyoSports, here to talk about Wyoming Appalachian State football, Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time in Boone, North Carolina. Wyoming's longest road trip of the season, some almost 1,600 miles from Laramie to Boone, and long way to go, and a very big struggle or very big challenge for the Cowboys this week. You think Appalachian State, you think, who the heck are they? But they're a very good team, making the transition from the FCS level up to the FBS, member of the Sun Belt Conference, 7-5 last year. In their first year in the Sun Belt, weren't eligible to play in bowl games as they were still going through their transition, but returned basically their entire starting lineup from that team that went 7-5, and right now just playing lights out defense, leading the nation in red zone defense. No one scored inside the 20-yard line against the Mountaineers yet this season, allowing only about 73 yards rushing, 246 yards of total offense, 13.7 points. They're 2-1, only lost to number 12 Clemson there. So this is a big challenge for Wyoming, and an offense that certainly hasn't had any issues moving the ball, the Cowboys, but certainly had issues scoring points at 21 points a game. Doesn't sound bad, but that's not going to get it done. Haven't been very good in the red zone, whether it's been penalties, negative plays, turnovers. Moving the ball hasn't been an issue, but this team is going to have to score points, and it's going to be tough against an Appalachian State defense. They're very good up front. Watch a guy named Ronald Blair as a defensive end. They're a 3-4 scheme. All four of their linebackers are very good and active, and a pretty decent and athletic secondary. One thing to be kind of cautious or be wary of in this game, it's supposed to rain in Boone on Saturday. 100% chance of rain, temperatures in the 50s. Maybe that's a great equalizer for Wyoming in this game, but we'll see. But, we look to the defensive side for the Cowboys, and more changes along that group. Moving linebackers around, Lucas Waka moving from outside to inside. Tim Kamina moving to the other outside linebacker spot. This defense is just searching to try to find ways to get the best players out there, and we'll see what this transition means. They're going to start a true freshman again in the secondary. Cornerback Antonio Hall will start alongside sophomore Robert Priester, and I think the big thing for Wyoming defensively is getting off to a good start. I mean, this team has allowed 101 points in the first half of games compared to about 40 in the second half. This team needs to get off to a good start defensively and not dig itself such an early hole. And if it's going to struggle early, then the offense needs to keep up. So it's a myriad of things for the Cowboys, but we'll see if these defensive changes help a little bit. So we'll see. It's odd when you look at Wyoming. They've got the leading passer in the conference in Cam Kaufman. They've got the leading receiver in the conference in Tanner Gentry. Jake Mulhart is 5th in the conference as far as receiving yards, and Brian Hill's the second leading rusher, yet this team is struggling mightily. So it doesn't look good for Wyoming, but it's the next game. It's a chance to get off the schneid, off the 0-4 start, and see what happens. But I think it's going to be a tough one in Boone. This Appalachian State team is good. I think this is the best defense Wyoming will have faced to this point of the season. At least on paper it is, but I know they don't play the games on paper. But looking at this one, I think it's going to be a tough day for the Cowboys. I see a final score of Appalachian State 38, Wyoming 14. Hope I'm wrong, and wouldn't be the first time on this that I have been wrong. So that'll do it for this week's edition of the WyoSports video blog. For more University of Wyoming sports coverage and high school sports coverage, see the Wyoming Tribune Eagle and Laramie Boomerang, and log on to wyosports.net. Thank you very much, everybody.